highest incarceration rate of anywhere in the world, people of color, especially young black males, are at the highest risk of incarceration, and they are at the highest risk of acquiring HIV. Both factors represent a terrible injustice, but when you add criminalization, it becomes an injustice of historic proportions. In my case, the prosecutors and judicial system didn't know much about HIV or the routes and the risk of transmission. When they decided to prosecute me, there was no consideration of science or shared responsibility of whether or not HIV was actually transmitted. Where I am from, young black gay men often get the maximum sentence, no matter what the charges or circumstances. Had I gone to trial, I'd face up to 10 years in prison. That was a risk that I would not take. So I agreed to plead guilty in exchange for a sentence of 2 years probation. But the judicial system didn't even know its own laws. When I reported to my probation officer, I was told that I had to register as a sex offender. Then the court resentenced me because sex offender registration in Louisiana requires serving time in prison. I spent 6 months in a Louisiana prison. I did get HIV treatment in prison, but sometimes it was unreliable or irregular in ways that could have harmed my health or facilitate resistance. Privacy in prison about one's HIV status is a joke. For the next 15 years, I must register as a sex offender in Louisiana. On my driver's license, underneath my photograph, it says in large red capital letters, sex offender. No matter what the government says, I know who and what I am. I am lucky because I have strong faith in God and a strong support from my family and friends. I am now employed at my local AIDS service organization as an HIV prevention caseworker, working with other young African American men who have sex with men. But what am I supposed to say to these young men considering getting tested when they express concern about getting arrested as a reason to not get tested? Or for those who know they are positive as a reason not to disclose their status? I can't tell them it will be okay. I must tell them all about the law and the risks they take when they get tested or disclosed. Where I am from, HIV criminalization is just another way to lock up black young men. It drives stigma and it drives the epidemic. We will not ever beat AIDS in Louisiana as long as we continue to criminalize those who have HIV. Thank you.